Hi, welcome to episode 86 of the PassionKnit Spinner podcast. My name is Tracy. You can find me as Schnüffelt here on Ravelry and Instagram. There is a Ravelry group for the podcast. Please come over and join. There are the show notes or just links to things I talk about. And thank you so much for being here. I have decided to take out a lot of my older hand knits. And this one is one of the oldest, I think, that I have. You can see it's a bit weird. No, it just gets weirder. Ugh. Okay, this is the mini sweater. It's a pattern by Stephanie Chappell. She used to go by Glampire Knits. I'm not sure if she still does. But this thing is a kind of a fail. I knit it 10 years ago, I think. I'm not sure. I checked on Ravelry to see what it's called. It is in my Ravelry projects, but I have no notes. I have no start or finish date. I just know that I've made it a long time ago. And it looks like this. This is the back. And I think I'm going to get rid of this because since I've made it, I've worn it never, not once. And that's mainly because of this thing here that's going on. First of all, it keeps traveling up and looks like that, which is very weird. And then, yeah, I had to put in a stitch marker to hold it in place on the other side because this just flops out. I'm not sure what I did wrong here, but I'm going to put on the stitch marker again so we can pretend that this fits and looks good. So yeah, I think I'm going to give this to someone who will wear it better than I do. Okay. Now, knitting in the past. I have finished almost everything that I showed last week. I finished everything that I showed last week. No, not really. I didn't finish my cardigan, but I finished the socks for my dad. These are a German size 46. That is big. Like, look at it. It's big. Big socks. These are for my dad for Christmas. The yarn is Opal from an older club that I used to be in. They are too big even for my gigantic blockers because my dad's feet are even bigger than my husband's. So this is, big, big, big socks. I knit those with 72 stitches, top down on US 2's 2.75 millimeter needles, and yeah, normal heel, flap, and gusset, just, plain vanillas like I always do. Then the next thing that I finished was the Langfield hat by Martina Behm. I'm going to show the pattern in a second. It's for my son. Looks like this from the top. As it is for my son, it's a bit snug on me, but it would fit, I made it a bit bigger. It does fit him right now because it's, it stretches. But it will fit him for a while. So it's quite a bit long on him, which is what I wanted. So we now have to just fold up the brim. He wears it like this right now, but that also means that he can wear it for a long time, which is good. So this is done. I used Schachenmeier Baby Wolle that I got in the factory store from Coates. And I knit with a 3 millimeter needle. That's a 2.5 US. And the pattern looks like this. Langfield by Martina Behm. It is a use whatever yarn you want with whatever needle you want for whatever size you want pattern, and it's amazing. This is my second version. I made one before for myself that I gave to a friend. Now I made this one for my son, and I'm working on another one for, not sure who yet, but I'm working on another one. And yeah, so that's that. And then, oh, I'm itching. I also finished the Toff hat by Woolly Worm Hat. This is for me. I knit this with Debbie Bliss BFL DK, and I love it. I blocked it since I put the pictures up on Instagram, so it looks like this now. And I think it's beautiful. Don't you? I think it's just pretty. And, okay. So, yeah, this is it. It's a Toff hat. It's a short row constructed hat pattern. And it's gorgeous. what I had to do, I ran out of yarn, first of all. And then I got a nice suggestion on Instagram and said from a friend. She said, you know what, I had to cut out a pattern repeat on mine because it was so big. So just try it on, maybe it's okay now. And I did. I left out one pattern repeat. The pattern calls for 8 repeats. I did 7, and the hat fits perfectly. So just beware that you might have to cut out some pattern repeats when you knit this. But I love it. It's so nice. It was super easy to knit, super quick. Just, a lot of counting because of all the shorter rows. But apart from that, wonderful knit. And then I finished something that you haven't even seen before. It's a pair of Potster mitts that I modified. I'm going to put them on. They're way big on me, but that's how it's supposed to be because they are not for me. They are a Christmas gift for a male friend, a male knitter friend. And his hands are bigger than mine, so I modified this quite a bit. I did use the Potster mitts pattern by, oh, here it is. Who is this from? By Glenna C. Designs. It's a free pattern on Ravelry. I managed to put stuff on. I'm not sure what it is, but this is the pattern. This is what it looks like. And it originally has, single fingers and a convertible flip top thingy. And I had planned on doing that, but then I thought that this is just what you get the most use out of. So I made them like this. The pattern calls for 2.5 or 2.75 millimeter needles. I used 3 millimeter needles just so it would get looser and therefore bigger. And I had my husband try it on all the time. So this is what I changed. I didn't do single fingers. I did not do a flip top, and I used bigger needles to make it bigger. This is the yarn that I used. It's Easy Knits. I bought this at Edin Yarn Fest this year. This is the leftover. And I'm very happy with this project. I think they turned out great. I love how the yarn pooled. And it's the same, when I hold them together, you can see that it's exactly the same thing. So yeah, I'm really happy with these. It's another Christmas gift finished. I really like how the bind off looks. You can see all the colors there. So yes, these are done. And I'm really, really happy because I'm very good with my Christmas list this year. And it's only the beginning of October. Very proud of myself. Now, these are gonna go into the pile of Christmas gifts. It's also a Christmas gift. 2 Christmas gifts done in 1 week. Okay. Now, that's it for knitting and past. Knitting and a present. I have 2 things. I have started another Lengfield hat. Oh, double edged. This is what it looks like so far. It's an interesting construction. You can see I have a lot of ends to weave in, but it's just how it is. And I think I'm nearing the point where I can, start the actual hat part. But yeah, this is what I'm working on right now. The yarn is Schachenmeier, I think, or is it Coats? I did not bring the ball bands. I have no idea where they are. This is the yarn. It looks like an I-cord. It's called Aventica. And I got these 2 skeins. Not sure where, actually. No idea where they came from. But I have these 2 skeins. And yeah, here you can see the structure of the yarn. It's really weird. It's nice to work with. But also, this is like super thick stuff. You have to knit it with, I'm knitting it with a, what am I using? A 6 millimeter needle. That's a US 10. And it calls for 6 to 7 millimeters, so a 10 to 11 US, or 10 to 10 and a half. I think it's a 10 and a half. So, but there's a lot of meterage or a lot of yardage on this because this stuff is also, it stretches like crazy. It's interesting. It's interesting to work with. I would not want to knit a whole sweater with it, but for this hat, it's great. And I think I'm gonna leave it with the striping. I did these 2 stripes and this pinkish. I'm gonna knit the rest of the hat in the red, and I'm gonna do the exact same hat vice versa, do the hat in this color and do the red stripes if I have enough left. If not, I'm just gonna have one hat and be done. But yeah, that's what I'm working on right now. It's gonna be very squishy, very warm. And yeah, so another Langfield hat on the needles, just because really I wanted to get these skeins out of my stash. Sometimes I just look at stuff and think, okay, you know what? I'm gonna use this now because I want it out. Just want it gone. And that's one of those cases. I just want these skeins of yarn out. So that's the Langfield hat. And then yesterday we were out with friends to have some coffee and cake. And I started a pair of socks for my son because I didn't have socks on the needles, except for patterned ones, you know, and I don't like to knit these. And I don't like to knit on pattern, like real patterns when I'm out with people. So I just started a pair of socks for Tim. This is how far I am. This is the yarn. It's left over from a pair of fingerless mitts that I made for myself a few years ago. It's quite a substantial skein of yarn. I'm using Knitter's Pride Dreams US 2's 2.75mm needles, 48 stitches top down. And I started the heel flap. So that's all I'm working on. I started the second hat and I'm working on these socks. And yeah, I'm not sure what's going on here. I feel like I wanna knit everything and nothing at all. Like yesterday evening, I went upstairs, sat in the reading room, watched some YouTube stuff, and I didn't knit a single stitch. I was sitting there for 4 hours and no stitch. Just nothing. I just sat there and stared at the TV. So, as in a project bag from Mad Bird, because I love Mad Bird. For knitting in the future, I have two things, and I brought one of those. I want to knit the Morgana headband. It's a pattern by Drops, which means it's a free pattern. And I'm going to do that to go with the Karoo mitts that I showed last week. And the other thing I talked about last week and I didn't show, I'm going to start Mint Lotus for myself. The pattern is by Annie Lupton. She goes by Boho Chic Fibers or something like that. And I am going to use this. It's a skein of Wollmeise lace that I bought at the sale a few months ago. And this is it. That's the skein of yarn I'm going to use. Can you see? It's as big as my head. This is one full skein of Wollmeise lace in the colorway Puderdöschen. It's not showing up. It's not a rusty brown. It's more like a dusky pink. And this skein of yarn is 1,722 yards. So that's a lot of yarn. And my skein was a bit smaller, so it's more like 1,500 yards, but that's enough for my sweater. So this is going to happen. I'm going to knit this sweater out of this yarn. I'm very excited about it. I'm using an old salad bowl from IKEA for as a skein. What's the word? Not a skein holder. What's the word? A skein bowl? No, a yarn bowl? A yarn bowl. I'm using it as a yarn bowl because, as you can see, it has cracked. So, no salad in this anymore. And my skein barely fits. So yeah, this is gonna happen, but this is gonna take forever because you use a US 2 to knit this sweater. I'm a crazy person. So yes, that's it for the knitting for this week. For spinning, I have one thing to show for spinning. It's in a big bag that my husband gave me. It has the logo from his work on the other side, but I'm not going to show that. So I got asked by a friend if I would spin stuff for her. This is like half a braid. The other half is already spun up. And I have 5 of these. It's a kilo in all together. And this is what it looks like. It is a 70 merino, 30 tussa silk blend. No, this way. It's called Summertime. It's by Adoptivwolle. She's a German indie fiber person. And I'm pretty sure that she had this carded specially for her the way she wanted it from World of Wool. If you do not know World of Wool, they are based in the UK and they have everything your fiber heart could ever wish for. And I have some custom blends like this myself in different colors. And I think I have an orange one, very similar to this. So I have a kilo of that in here. You can see there's a lot more fiber. I think I'm going to end up with 10 bobbins in the end, at least. And I finished the first one this week. I'm spinning this yarn, or this fiber, on my Louette S45. It's a travel wheel, and I'm going to travel next week for a spinning knitting retreat. And I'm going to take this wheel and this fiber with me. So yes, this is how it will be. I think it's going to be like a decay towards the weight in the end. That's my spinning for this week. And I think you're going to see a lot of this in the future because I want to finish it. So let's see. Oh, new stuff. I have new stuff. I got a little surprise package in the mail this week by a viewer of the podcast. And I didn't ask if I could tell your name, but I'm just going to do it, you know. There are a lot of people out there with the same name, so I think it's going to be okay. So Marge did contact me and asked for my address because she said, I have a little gift that I want to send your way. And she did. She sent it to me. It came this week, which is amazing because this week sucked. And yeah, so here it is. There was a mini skein in here. It's a Dream in Color Smooshy, which is an MCM blend, and I love Smooshy. And this one will go into my Mold Magic sweater that I really want to start very soon because I have an outfit. I have a whole outfit plan around this sweater that I want to make, and yeah, I'm just very excited about that. So I'm gonna start that soon. So yes, it's a turquoise. It's a beautiful turquoise mini skein of Smooshy that will go in that sweater. And then she sent me, and I'm sorry, but I managed to kill the packaging. She sent me a set of coasters that are all Harry Potter house crests. This is super exciting. I'm sorry, I killed the box. So the box will go in the trash now, but these coasters will be used. So this is the Gryffindor one, of course, with the lion. Magenta and gold are the colors. No, scarlet and gold, not magenta. Magenta is pink. Scarlet and gold are the colors for Gryffindor. Then Hufflepuff is yellow. The house colors are yellow and black. They have a badger as their animal. Then Ravenclaw in the books is blue and bronze. And they have an eagle as their house animal. And Slytherin, of course, is green and silver, and they have the serpent, the snake, as their house thing. So these are super exciting. I'm already in love with them. I am going to use those. No one else will use them. I'm going to scatter them around the house. I'm going to leave one here for my coffee. And I'm very excited. They have cork on the other side. They're like, it's a metal. It's like embossed. Is that a word that you use with metal? I'm not sure if you can tell, but these are beautiful. So Marge, thank you so much. I'm really happy about this. And it just, you know, when people say, you know what, I want to send you something, it's just the nicest thing ever. And I'm really appreciating this. So thank you so much. And please don't get that as a, hey, people send stuff my way. It's more like it surprises me and it's wonderful. So thank you so much. So these coasters are gonna go in use right now. I'm gonna put, oh, which one am I gonna put here? I'm gonna leave the Gryffindor here because I'm the Gryffindor. And under my coffee. There it goes. Perfect. Isn't that great? I love getting things in the mail. So thank you so much, Marge. Now, next. Reading, listening, watching. I am still reading the first Harry Potter book. You see, I'm a little over halfway through. I just try to read a little bit every day. And I'm not sure what keeps me back. You know, what's holding me back, really. because I love Harry Potter and I love the Harry Potter books, but I've always not been the biggest fan of the first two books. You know, the third one was kind of my favorite. Or, you know, from the third one on, it's just like zoom when I read them for the first time. The first two, not so much. So I'm pretty sure that's why I just can't get over those pages. But I'm going to read all of the books in order. So yeah, I'm just gonna keep trying to read a little bit every day. And as soon as I finish the second book, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna zoom through the rest. And also, yeah, I don't know. I put them on my Kindle because I just found out, because I'm living under a rock, that these books are on Kindle Unlimited. So I put them on my Kindle. Maybe that will speed things up a bit because I can read and knit. I tried reading and knitting with this one, but as it's so small, it will not stay open in my book stand because it's just too small. You know, there's no, the flappy thing that holds it back. It doesn't hold it back because it's not bendable. So yeah, it's just, it doesn't work, but I'm going to finish it because I love it. And I really want to get back into reading. I want to make it a habit again. And then I'm not listening to anything. I'm still listening. I'm technically still listening to the fourth Harry Potter ebook in German, audiobook in German, but I haven't this week. I've been listening to a lot of music, but you know, just music. I listen to music all the time, so I'm not going to talk about that. We watched my husband and I, we discovered a new show that we can watch together, and we can also have in the background when we are playing with Tim, and that's White Collar with Matt Bomer, who's very pretty, I have to say. So yeah, we've been watching that. We started on season 1 and have like the first 5 episodes or so watched, and it's a nice show. If you haven't seen it, it's fun. It's like a crime. Yeah, it's a crime show. I think it's, you can say that's a crime show. So now, sewing. I have some sewing, and I have some new stuff for sewing. That's very exciting. First off, things that I finished. I made sweaters for my son because he needed sweaters, because he is growing like a like weed or bamboo. Bamboo grows like crazy, right? He must be a bamboo. So I did make sweaters for him. I used this pattern. It's from the Ottobre magazine. It looks like this. It's issue number 1, 2015. And Ottobre is a Finnish magazine that's translated into German. And I'm pretty sure it's translated into different languages as well, you know. But they specialize in children's patterns. So this magazine has patterns in here from kids sizes 56 to 170. And that is like size and height. It equals the height. And I think for US sizes, that's like a newborn to 3 months old. So the first size you ever need, up until like a 14T. Is that a size? Like, you know, 15-year-olds, I'd say. So I have bought like 5 or 6 of these magazines throughout the years, and they are all for the different seasons. So this was the spring season pattern magazine. I have one for summer, one for fall, and one for winter. And just so you can see how many patterns are, these are all the patterns that are in here. And they start here with newborn, and they end down here with these sizes for the 12 to 15-year-olds. Boys and girls patterns. And these are just amazing. So I got one for every season, and you know, I can now use these until he's too old to want to wear things that mommy made. So if you get your hands on an Ottobre magazine, you should try to. And I think you can, they're also downloadable from their website. So check it out. It's an amazing thing. Now, I'm going to show you my favorite first. I used the same pattern for all of these, and what I did, I used size 92 for the width because he's very slim, and I used the 98 for length. So these are slim but long. So this is the first, oh, that's the back. This is the first one, and it's my favorite. It's the Dino fabric. that I super love. And I used this jersey line for all of the sleeves in different colors. So yes, that's the first one. The second one is with birds. Not sure what they are called. What are they called? Are these real birds? And also this kind of fabric for sleeves. As I made them very long, they are a bit long on him now, which means that he will be able to wear them for quite a while. Then I used this fabric, and I'm not sure if US or outside German people know what this is, but when I was a kid, and possibly when my oldest sister was a kid, who's 10 years older than me, there was a TV cartoon show called Vicky und die starken Männer, and it was amazing. It was about Vikings, and that Viking boy here, Vicky, who always had the best ideas to save the world. And this is fabric from that comic show. Is it a comic show? What is it called? It's not an anime. It's a cartoon. That's the word. It's a German cartoon. Then there's just pirate fabric. And I did not have sleeve fabric that really went with it, so I just used the one that didn't look too bad. So this is this one. I got all of these fabrics, the main fabrics for the main bodies, at the Allgäuer Nadelstiche fabric event that takes place once a year near me. And I used about, they all were half-meter cuts, and I used about half of those. So I will be able to make another set with one size larger sweaters for him when he outgrows these. So, and the last one is Baloo and Mowgli from the Jungle Book. And I have made a t-shirt for him a while back out of this fabric already, so this is all gone now. But yep, there it is. So these 5 sweaters were all made this week. What I did was I traced a pattern and I cut it without seam allowance. So it makes it even slimmer than it already was. And I sewed everything together with the overlocker with white thread because that's what I had in. And also all the fabric is white on the inside. And then I twin needled all around the neck opening, the sleeves, and the hem with black because that was what went with like all of them. So that's what I did. And now they are done and he can wear them because I did not allow him to wear them before I showed them on the podcast. That's the kind of mother I am. So that's what I did. And then I wanted to show new things because I have something super exciting to show. And it is this thing here. I got myself a real dress form. Remember, like a few months ago, or no, 1.5 years ago, I think it was last year in January, my best friend, the Stitchnista, and I, we did make our own dress forms molded to our own bodies. And that was like half a year after I had my son. So my body was quite different from what it is now. And I just didn't want to start all over. And so I decided to just buy one. I got this one from wtaching. It's a German online shop thing. It's already put into my measurements. So, there's a big gap in here because, my ass is quite a bit bigger than my neck. So we had to open up the thing. But this is a dress form that's made of 8 single pieces. No, 4. It's 4 single pieces. And no, it's 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's 8. It's an 8-piece dress form, which means that you can adjust a lot of things. So we adjusted of course, the hip, the waist, the bust, the neck, and also you could adjust where the waist is. The waist is here. This is where the waist is. You could adjust the length of the torso. So, this here comes apart. And you can put it in height. So it's exactly as big as you are, height-wise. There's a skirt thingy down here that you cannot see. And yeah, it has a stand. It has rolls. There's a needle cushion, pin cushion up here that you could use that I will probably never use. and I put a very tight fitting dress on the other day, yesterday when we had finished it, to see if it would, really be like me, and it is. So I'm very, very happy with this. Yeah, I got a dress form. Let me tell you, dress forms, they're not cheap, but I thought I'd just not buy fabric and yarn for a while, and it's gonna be okay because I have enough fabric and yarn, and now I have a dress form to use when I make things for myself, and that makes me very happy. And also, I wanted to show you two fabrics that came with the dress form because, I didn't want it to travel alone, so I bought some fabric. It just said that I shouldn't buy fabric, didn't I? Okay, I bought two different fabrics, very different fabrics, but I want to make button-down shirts for myself out of both of these. And the first one is going to be just a classic button-down, no fuzz, because I think this fabric is, it doesn't really call for a lot of fuzz. So this is what it looks like. It is a light gray with these brown roses on it. It's a very, very nice fabric, I think. So this is the first. I got 1.5 meters. It's just a cotton, quilting weight cotton. I'm gonna make a button down for myself out of this. And the other one is very different because I have two personalities in myself. The other one, I want to make a shirt that is similar to the Rosa shirt by Tilly and the Buttons, but I'm not going to use that pattern. I'm going to use a pattern from a Buddha magazine from like 2005 or 2006. I couldn't find it. I would have shown you, but I can't find it right now. It's very similar, but a bit different because I also have a different fabric with foxes on. This one has foxes on. I'm going to show it to you. And I have a different fox fabric that I want to use for a Rosa shirt, and I bought everything for that as well. So, like some time ago. So I decided to do a different pattern for this one because I would end up with two very, very, very similar shirts otherwise. So this is it. It's just super cute autumnal fabric with foxes and hedgehogs, and yeah, it's so cute. I think it's super cute, and it's going to be a very sweet button down. And I do not care if you think it's childish. I love it, and that's all I want to know. So yeah, these are the two fabrics. I got 1.5 meters each. So that's gonna happen very soon. And I know that I have a glare thingy on my glasses, but my cats are both here. They're sitting on the windowsill over there, so I cannot close the blinds completely because they cannot get in and out and they would just go crazy. So I have to deal with this. Can't change it. But yeah, that's just, there are worse things. So I do not have cross stitch or weaving, and for everything else I just have one thing, and that is a bit not personal, different, weird, not knitting related at all. I have bought myself a book because Katie from the Inside Number 23 podcast, she showed it on her Instagram and said, "Oh, I'm so happy that I got my hands on this book." And it sounded like something that I really should read. And it is this book. It's Body Positive Power by Megan Jane Krabbe. Is that how you say her name? It's like Crab and Goyle. It's the exact same writing. Is it crab? I do not know. But I flipped through. I have not read it yet. Just flipped through, and I think this is going to be a very good book for me because I have problems with my body because, I am human, and I have to find something out. When I look in the mirror, it's like, when I see other people with a similar shape to my body, I always think, oh, she looks great. Or like people who are a bit bigger in tight pencil skirts and a blouse, and like, wow, it looks amazing. But if I'm picturing myself in that clothing, I was like, oh my goodness, I cannot go out on the streets like this because I feel so big. And I know that I'm not super big. Yeah, I know that. But I also know that since I met my husband, I gained 20 kilos. When I started dating my husband, I was a stick thin. And I know that the body of a 19-year-old and the body of a 33-year-old who had a child are different. I know that. But that doesn't change the way I feel. And I have to find out something that no one will be able to help me with. Gizmo, leg dich mal wieder hin, du blendisch. Do I feel uncomfortable in my own skin because I really feel uncomfortable in my own skin? Or do I feel uncomfortable in my own skin because every time you look at a movie or whatever it is, media in general, you get told that only stick-thin, super beautiful people with big tits and nice asses are perfect. And I do not want to be perfect. Perfect seems boring. Super, Merlin, danke. But I want to feel comfortable in my own skin. And I need to find out which of these two options it is. Do I really feel uncomfortable? Or do I just have this nagging that's, ooh, you should, because these look so great. And I don't want to look like someone else. I don't want to be someone else, but I want to feel good being me. And I haven't felt good being me in years. So I'm going to read this book, and I hope that this book will open my eyes. And yeah, that's just how I feel. And I'm pretty sure that a lot of people feel like that. And I'm not sure how to deal with it. So let me know. I'm trying, you know, I really am trying to feel better, but it doesn't work. So I have to find a way to make that work. Okay, now on this happy note, let's say goodbye. I talked about everything I can talk about. I am going to get started on this book. And yeah, I hope it will maybe open my eyes. Now there's cat hair in my face. Great. Okay, I'm going to let you go. I hope you all have a wonderful week. I am going to think about this thing for a bit. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get rid of it because I do not know what to wear it with. So stay tuned for that. Gizmo, hör auf. Ja, ich komm gleich. Okay, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Enjoy everything you do. I have to go now because my cat is going to go crazy in a second. So, bye.